Welcome to This Explainer. If you're a business owner or a forward-thinking professional, you are probably constantly trying to look around corners to see what tech trends are coming next. Well, today we're looking at what might literally be the closest thing to a crystal ball by examining the aggressive, on-the-ground implementation of artificial intelligence happening right now. We can actually get a sneak peek at the future of business realities, consumer expectations, and workforce dynamics. All right, let's jump right into our agenda. We're going to cover 1. Tomorrow's tech trends today. 2. AI and consumer markets. 3. The next generation workforce. 4. The risks of over-reliance. And finally, number 5. The ultimate business takeaway. Let's kick things off with Section 1. Tomorrow's tech trends today. The global contrast. To really grasp where AI is heading, we've got to zoom out and look at the macro landscape right now. On one side, you have the United States, which is locked in a deep, theoretical debate about the exact role of artificial intelligence in our daily lives. But contrast that with China. Over there, they aren't just debating, they are racing to aggressively incorporate AI across the entire fabric of their society. And as a business owner, watching this on-the-ground implementation is basically like getting a free preview of tomorrow's market. And you can see just how incredibly fast this adoption builds. Take a private AI tutor named Yanja Ma. She's a perfect microexample of this massive market shift. Just 3 years ago, she had to desperately convince skeptical parents that AI tools were even worth their kids' time. Then, ChatGPT launches, and it just dramatically transforms the whole landscape of education. Fast forward to today, and Ma has these massive waiting lists of parents trying to get their kids into her classes. The consumer appetite practically flipped overnight. Moving on to Section 2, AI in consumer markets, from sci-fi to day-to-day. Let's step out of the classroom and over to the cash register to see how this immense willingness to experiment is actually showing up in daily business transactions. Because AI agents are already driving everyday services. As Kyle Chan at the Brookings Institution points out, tech companies there are highly willing to take risks. We're talking way beyond those clunky little chat windows. AI is actively integrated into optimizing food delivery, booking tickets, and managing complex travel plans. It's even stepping into entertainment. Restaurant chains like Haidilao are literally using singing, dancing robot performers to serve up a spectacle alongside their meals. And it doesn't stop at restaurants. Driverless taxis are actively navigating the streets of Beijing as we speak. I mean, this isn't some closed-course pilot program or a limited beta test. Everyday consumers can literally hop into the back of a cab without a human driver behind the wheel and just head over to the local mall. The infrastructure is completely live. Now we need to ground this in hard business reality. $13,500. That is the actual starting retail price for an off-the-shelf humanoid robot. A company named Unitree lets everyday shoppers just walk into a store in the mall and buy one. I mean, think about what a price point like that means for hardware accessibility and the near future of consumer tech. And if you're looking for a smaller capital expense, it gets even wilder. Consumers are out there buying synchronized martial arts performing robotic dogs for just $1,600. This level of advanced robotic hardware isn't locked away in some top-secret corporate research lab anymore. It's practically an impulse buy for a tech enthusiast. Which brings us to Section 3, the next generation workforce. Building, not just using. Let's pivot to the people who are going to be knocking on your door for jobs in a few years. Meet Canty Tang. She is exactly who we're talking about. She's only 12 years old, but her business goal is already locked in. She wants to become the CEO of her own gaming company. She doesn't just sit back and passively consume technology. She already views herself as a future enterprise leader. Seriously, listen to her current project list. Candy isn't sitting around waiting for adult developers to build things for her. She's built an app to talk to virtual characters. She helped build a reservation system for a local swimming pool. She even developed an AI tool that connects people with doctors for Chinese medicine advice. She's actively using AI to solve immediate, real-world logistical problems in her own community. And Candy is definitely not an anomaly here. Take 14-year-old Angela Wong. She asked to be enrolled in AI tutoring and ended up building something called Zombie Run. It's a customized app that motivates her to train for a race by having virtual zombies literally chase her through her headphones. This highlights a massive shift. It's the practical, immediate problem-solving mindset of this incoming generation. If they have a problem, they just spin up an app to fix it. Just listen to this quote from Angela. It perfectly captures how normalized this technology has become. Growing up surrounded by smart cities and facial recognition hasn't made her uncomfortable at all.
To this future workforce, AI isn't some scary disruption. It's literally just basic infrastructure. It's simply the way the world works to make the city better.
All right, Section 4, the risks of over-reliance, a critical assessment. Now, as a business owner, you can't just get hypnotized by all these shiny new toys and the sheer speed of output. We absolutely have to pivot and analyze the very real structural dangers of aggressive early adoption. This is the essential question every forward-thinking professional has to ask before completely overhauling their company's operations with AI. If we rush to automate, what are we accidentally breaking in the process? We actually get a stark warning about this straight from Jung Chung Fun, a data scientist on the ground who is teaching these tools. He points out a severe risk: indiscretion and blind reliance. If people aren't taught correctly, they'll lean entirely on the AI, completely losing the ability to critically assess what the system is spitting out. If your team trusts the AI output blindly, the results, as he puts it, are not going to be pretty.
Let's weigh this out. The business lens here is absolutely critical. The advantages are super obvious, right? You get instant custom apps, rapid solutions to logistical bottlenecks, and a culture of fast-paced experimentation. But look at the flip side. The parallel risks are massive. A profound lack of critical thinking skills, employees using tools with sweeping indiscretion, complete blind dependence on the output. If your business adopts AI just to cut corners, you run a huge risk of hauling out the core competency of your human workforce.
Finally, Section 5, the ultimate business takeaway: controlling the tool. Let's distill all of this into an actionable philosophy you can actually use for your strategic planning. We've seen that in aggressively adopting markets like China, the question isn't whether to embrace AI, it's just a matter of how fast. They are absolutely maximizing that first-mover advantage. But don't mistake the speed of adoption for the secret sauce. The technology itself is completely neutral. Human application remains the ultimate deciding variable in whether this tech helps or hurts your business.
Which brings us right back to 12-year-old Candy Tang. Her realization here is just profound. And quite frankly, it's the ultimate takeaway for your business today. She says AI doesn't scare her because it's just a tool. If I use AI, then I will be the scary person. Think about that for a second. The tech isn't the threat, and it isn't the savior either. The human intent, the strategic application, and the critical mind wielding the tool are what truly matter.
So I'm going to leave you with a pretty provocative thought as we wrap up this explainer. I want you to look at your own operations today. Are you building a resilient company culture that actively controls and commands AI as a powerful tool? Or are you accidentally building a culture that is slowly, blindly becoming reliant on the machine to do its thinking? That is the defining question for your future success. Thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive. Now go evaluate those tech strategies.